Welcome to the Wizard Starter Survival Guide for Diablo 3, patch 2.6.9 and season 21. If you're wondering what these wings are, they're the new Diablo 2 inspired wings, like the bow wings. So go ahead and log in and get them. All you have to do is log into the game, basically, and they're yours. You can get them on PC or console. They're there to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Diablo. But this is a starter survival guide. Now, all these starter guides are based on you saving your challenge drift cache. It looks like this. The challenge drift already reset this week, so do not do it. All right, save your challenge drift till after the season is active. There has to be an active season when you complete the challenge drift, and then you can get all these goodies, right? What you can do with these goodies is upgrade your professions to max. You can roll Bluddshards at level 1 to maybe get a multiplier or something unique to help you while leveling. You can go to run and get your cube and then do a Hope of Cain recipe and get a level 70 weapon, which hopefully you get again another big multiplier to aid you in your leveling journey. And you get some cash to spend and things like that. So save your challenge drift bag. And that leads us to the first item up for wizard. So like you would run and get your cube at level 1, you know, kill things along the way, get your massacre bonus. Or if you're in a group, have one person run there and then everybody run and port to him to get the cube or whatever. But anyway, wizard has some cool options. I'm going to tell you what you could do, and I'm going to tell you what I would do, right? So the starter set is Firebird this season. Maybe I take a step back and show you. So Firebird is really good, right? We're skipping far ahead. So you're getting Firebird for the Hadrigs, right? It's really good for the starter guide. It's really good for the 4-piece. The 6-piece is where things get a little dicey. So with the 6-piece Firebird set, you only have your damage if an enemy is burning from 3 fire spells. So once you kill an elite, you're basically super vulnerable until you find another elite. So it's a really squishy set, and you can make a case for Ashnagars here. You can make a case for waiting to level 33 and you go for sources. There's only 2 possible sources. You can get the Edge Sigil or the Winter's Flurry. So Edge Sigil is pretty good, right? And Ashnagars gives you some good shields along the way. But through my testing, I found that nothing was more consistent than just stacking cooldown and going Firebird Archon. So what I recommend this season is to roll helms at level 1. There's only one helmet available, and that's the Leoric's Crown. It'll help you, you know, you put a red gem in the helmet while leveling. You're going to get that XP boost. And when you get to max level, you're going to go to a white gem to get a double cooldown boost, right? So we're really going to focus on just cooldown everywhere. Start saving your cooldown on your gloves, on freaking every piece of gear that you get, your rings, amulets. Anything that you see with cooldown, a vigilante belt, you want to maybe hold and hoard along the way. Even if it's like a lower level item, it might be better than using something with even like high main stat, because Archon is what's going to carry you, right? So you can do the other options, right? But for me, I'm going to go Leoric's. It's pretty much guaranteed you're going to get the Leoric's. Or if you don't get it with your Bluddshards, you'll probably get one even while leveling. You can go ahead and wear this the whole time. And you don't have to cube it because you want to save maybe your cube slot for any potential weapons you get along the way. It's entirely possible you get something savagely good, like an unstable scepter while leveling, and you can put that in the weapon slot in the cube, right? You'll out-level weapons really fast. You'll have to cube them. But something like a helm, you'll have that effect no matter what level you are. You know, you might lose like the main stat because it's only going to be like a level 16 item, but it's not that big of a deal compared to your weapon not scaling properly. For your Hope of Cain recipe, we're gonna YOLO wands at level 70. You can only upgrade level 70 wands, by the way. You couldn't upgrade like a low level wand or anything like that. There's some good ones, like Wand of Woe's pretty solid. Unstable Scepter we talked about. Starfire gives you 15% lightning damage, but it's pretty weak overall. Madness is horrible. Serpent Sparker is extremely good, 300% damage on Hydra. You can even go like Firebird Hydra. And Fragment of Destiny, I'd probably go Firebird Spectral Blade. And Chantoto is really good, but you don't get the benefit right away. Black Hand is horrible. Aetherwalker is not that good for power. There's only a few ones that you can get. You can also go for a staff, but I recommend wands for sure. Swords are just way too many swords. But there's a good one like the Death Wish, and the Twisted Sword is good for leveling. And for staves, there's a few good ones here, like the Firebird or the Meteor one. But yeah, no, go for wands. Hopefully you get a good one. Also, keep in mind that if you happen to get an ancient on your upgrade, even if it's a poopy one, like Black Hand Key, check the secondary effect. It could actually roll. Ancients can roll with -40 reduced level requirement, which means you can use them at level 30. Pretty powerful stuff. For your leveling spells, you're going to use Disintegrate, Convergence pretty much the entire way. And even, yeah, your starter build is going to be using this also. It's really powerful, so stick with this one. I like it a lot. And then early on, you also get like Power Hungry, which will boost your damage a lot. Wizard has a really good leveling start. You should slap pretty hard. And then like if you're doing Massacre bonuses or something like that while leveling, Hydra is really good to help keep them up, as like they'll be attacking in the distance when you're running, looking for the next pack. They'll still be like attacking stuff. I also have a cheat sheet just to give you some tips while you're leveling. Don't forget, you know, your follower weapon and the red gem like we talked about. And at level 40, craft a 70 weapon, which we're going to show you in a second. And then tips and tricks in general for when you're 70 or nearing 70. Keep those things in mind. So when you hit level 40, you're going to make a level 70 weapon. Remember, we boosted our blacksmith to max level. And I prefer a two-handed mace with wizard. You just get the most damage out of it. But you could go for a one-handed mace, especially if you have a cool source while leveling. So we'll just make a two-handed mace for continuity here. I usually make 3 to 4 maces. And right now I'm hoping I don't get a really good one since this is my last starter guide and the season starts on Friday. Let's see. So we're going to look for crowd control as a secondary, and you want to leave that on always. So this has nothing. We're just going to set it aside. This has nothing. This has crowd control, and this one has crowd control. So these two are good. I might even make 2 more if this was me. If this is the season, right? But we'll just kind of roll this now. Look for reduced level requirement. Also, if it does have life on hit on the weapon, then there's even less chance that it can roll with reduced level requirement. That's what we're looking for. Hopefully we get it. I roll each one 2 to 3 times. The gold cost will kill you before anything. And we didn't get anything again. I'm super happy about that. This is like the 3rd roll for this one. 4th roll. And then 4th roll for here. Perfect. But you can see you have a 1 in 3 chance to get that reduced level requirement. If you don't get it, you know, don't panic, you know, but I wouldn't worry about emptying out your materials either. Like completely just empty everything. Who cares? While you're leveling, you're going to get new items. You're going to get more, you know, like weapons to salvage and disenchant and all that stuff. So don't worry about your materials. You're going to replace them anyway. It's just a small bit of material. Just think of it as free anyway. This was all free stuff from the Challengers cache. So go ahead and roll that. I'm going to stop rolling here because I think on the last video, we didn't get reduced level requirement either. And I'm going to save my reverse RNG for the season. But yeah, make like 3 or 4. If you get 2 bad ones, then 3 or 4 good ones, right? So I would make 2 more and then roll them each like 3 to 4 times. You should have enough to maybe get something on it. The starter build switches Disintegrate to Entropy, Disintegrate Entropy from Convergence. So I said use Convergence the whole way. I like to use Entropy for the starter build with nothing, right? So this build is just all yellow gear with nothing. Like, what would you do, right? So if the website's not working, this is the build right here, basically. What you do is just keep up your buffs and group them up with Black Hole and then hold down Disintegrate. Archon is like your oh crap button. So group them up and just hold down. And they get shreked. Like this is literally just with all yellow gear, no like the Orc's Crown or like no multipliers. It's a really powerful, it hits really hard for like this low kind of level stuff, right? And then you have Archon as your big button. Hold down the beam and push Q or a lightning blast. So you're holding down Disintegrate Wave like this, the beam, and then you just spam your Q or whatever button that is for you. And then hopefully you start stacking cooldown and you keep an eye out for that stuff. And yeah, you should be good to go. You can also ground slam and smash Q for higher single target. But typically the beam is going to cover a wider arc. You're going to stick to the starter build until you get your 4-piece for the GR20 clear. So this is what the 4-piece build looks like. And it's really cool. Like we talked about earlier, the 2-piece is a cheat death. The 4-piece, you get 1,000% dot for each fire skill. And one of the coolest things to learn about Firebird is the magic weapon Ignite counts as 1 fire spell. So as you use a fire spell, you're like lighting the mobs on fire, like a burning effect, and that counts as 2. So if I use Disintegrate, it's gonna burn them. So this is like 1 spell for 2 burns. And then you only need 1 more burn, and I use Black Hole to group them up, and then it just kind of perfectly burns them like that. Also, other things that proc the burning ignite effect are your 2-piece. So when you die, a meteor drops from the sky, that procs it. And your Archon combustion, when you pop Archon, there's a big burst of flames, and that also is a proc. So there's a few different ways we can go about it. So this is the 4-piece bonus for your GR20 clear. Let's go ahead and jump in. Again, like before, keep up your buffs, use Black Hole and Disintegrate. This time, again, we're using Convergence. So we really are only a good elite build, but with the 4-piece, it can kill anything. So I'll kind of demonstrate that here. Let's kind of group them up. I can see I have a shield from my passive, Galvanizing. Group them up, and they should have all 3 fire spells on them. Perfect. Here's an elite. Let's not stand in that. I'm gonna pop my potion. It's a really easy GR20 clear with absolutely nothing. Let me get this. And then perfect. And then remember, Archon is our oh crap button that we still have. What is this up here? Is another elite? No. But I might just kill it. You can see how strong it is in comparison to the level of content that we're doing. So it's pretty straightforward. Just burn them, ignite them, and do a lot of damage. I might get 1 more kill here before we demonstrate the 6-piece. 1 more. It's got to be an elite, right? They can't just leave us hanging like this, right, chat? Here we go. Shock Tower 2, this might be bad. I'm gonna pop potion and burn. So you can see Firebird has a really easy start for the beginning. And then there's our kill. Like a nice big jump early on. At this point, you completed your GR20 clear, and now you have your 6-piece bonus. Your damage is increased by 200% damage, and damage taken is reduced by 3% for each enemy that's ignited. When you have an elite burning, you get the maximum effect. So you really get your most damage and your most damage reduction when you have an elite burning. But the elites die so quick, you lose your buff. I really think that they should change the set to last like 30 seconds after you kill an elite. You have like a lingering effect. That would really help. And then of course a damage boost for the set would also be amazing. So Blizzard, if you're listening. Anyway, so since we don't have our damage reduction like other sets have all the time, we're really squishy. Even if we had Ashnagars, squishy, right? So this is the 6-piece bonus with Elioric's Crown of the Cube to give us more cooldown. I only have currently 45%, but we get, remember, we get 20 from our passive, and then basically 20 from our Leoric's Crown. So that's where all my cooldown's coming from. You get the 10 here, and then Leoric's Crown 100 gives you 100% effect, right? So that's pretty much all from Leoric's and the passive. If this was my character, I would be looking for rings and amulets along the way. And you know, the Vigilante belt, like we talked about, things to boost cooldown. If you're leveling and you get lucky with weapons and Etch Sigil and all kinds of things like that, you can always go a Laud start. Laud is one of the first gems that drops, like the first few gems every season. And Legacy of Nightmares right here. I think at level 25, it has 100% multiplier for each legendary. I might have one in here. Just look away from my stash space. Here it is. Yeah, level 25, it's 9750. So you get like a little damage bonus and a damage reduction. And that would be pretty consistent. I would only go Laud if I had like Etch Sigil or like we said, like any kind of weird multiplier like the Wand of Woe, then maybe you consider going that over Firebird. But this is fine for sure. So how we're playing the 6-piece is funny. So hopefully you stacked more cooldown than I have. Let's jump into like a T7 level. We're gonna stay on T7 till we farm like a legit speed build. What's a legit speed build, you ask? Well, you just check the link in the description, of course, and go to bloodshed.com. And I have tons of builds here for every single class across the board. We're still working on ways to get the information in a sleeker way. So bear with us, as you know, the site's new. It's my first season that I've had it. But you would go down to like Torment speed builds, and it says best is Veers. You know, a lot of Frozen Orbs good, Explosive Blast, Hydra, Frozen, like all these are good speed builds I put here. If it's super off meta, I'll tag it as off meta. And then, you know, GR speed builds, if you want to do 70 to 100, it's like there's, I even have level ranges on here for everything. So, and then the starter build's going to go right in this slot once we're done today. So yeah, there's tons of builds and resources up here for everybody. Even on the very top, we have like gem calculators, bounty lists, and all kinds of things like that. Anyway, we're going to kill the elites with our normal combo, which is Black Hole and Disintegrate. And we're going to use Archon in between when we're in trouble or just for trash. Because we don't need Archon for elites. We need Archon for density. So like right here, I'm going to jump in, Black Hole, and start whopping these. Look at that. I mean, Firebird does a lot of damage, and then we lose all of our survivability instantly. Hopefully you guys get a Halo of Corinne. So I'm in trouble. I'm just going to pop Archon. And hopefully we don't die. Hopefully Archon can somehow sustain me. There's the 2-piece. Great. We have a built-in cheat death. It's a good thing we have it, because we'd be dead right there if we didn't. You can also stack red gems in your gear. That would give you a little bit more armor, synergize with force armor. And you can see it's pretty volatile. You can always drop it to T5 if you'd like, or anything like that. Archon's not too bad. I feel like it's up whenever I really need it. There's a lot of running and looking for elites at a low level. You know, we're not fast. We don't have Ingeom or anything like that. Ingeom would be great. It give us more cooldown. I'm not even going to DPS these guys unless I get a big pull like that. Like, very rarely would I even kill trash. Let's maybe jump this. Look for another elite. And here we go. And I can fight elites on my own for the most part. Look at that. Just mopped up, right? It's the density that's a problem a lot of the time. Stay away from them. We got procced. So I run 2 cheat deaths for that reason. I'm going to pop Archon again. And we should have our Firebird cheat death. So we're rocking 2 cheat deaths essentially, and it's helping us get through this kind of content. And again, this is with absolutely nothing. You might have a defensive ring. You might have a, I mean, there's all kinds of off items in Diablo that might help you, you know, along your journey. But you can see you can get by with Firebird. Look at our progression on a T7. It's just, you know, you have to kind of play around your strengths, which is your shields. And hopefully you have more cooldown than that. If you get a Zodiac ring would be incredible to reduce the cooldown to get you back into Archon faster. The Chantoto set, you do damage inside Archon also. So Fazula, Swami, keep an eye out for all these items. And yeah, you guys should be fine. For endgame, well, sadly, Wizard is not in the push meta, the speed meta, anything like that. They were dominant for such a long time. So nothing like that, but your best push build is going to be Veers Archon, and then Hydra Laud and Hydra Typhon are both really good in the A tier. I'd put them. They hit really hard. They're also really squishy. If you hate being squishy, you know, then you might want to go to Laud Hydra EB. This is the tanky version, which it should have a hardcore tag. If you see this little H, oh, it is there. It's just, I have to fix it. But yeah, you can see the little H signifies that it's hardcore capable. This is really, really tanky. And Meteor Shower is pretty tanky. Also, there's even an H tag by Laud. If you need like an early game Meteor Shower push for Firebird, like if you're just early game trying to push your gems, like this is what I would go into. And yeah, we have lots of stuff here and tells you what levels they are. So Wizard's pretty cool. And if you haven't played Hydra, it just came out last season. It's a good time to play it. It's still pretty solid of a build. Wizard's actually my favorite class in Diablo, Sorceress in general. I like those dark wizards or witches, like Yennefer from The Witcher is really cool. So I like that kind of art style, and I even like these wings, and I like this like evil demonic sorceress. Pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for all the patrons, everyone that takes the time to like my videos. I appreciate all the support over the years. I'm excited. I'm gonna be streaming all night on Friday for launch. I'm gonna be playing hardcore solo. So join us, twitch.tv/Bluddshed. And that's gonna be all for me today. This is Bluddshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.